All right, down for that, clown for that. Once again, a segment, ET and I, we agree on most things, but not everything. Looks like this first topic was very, very entertaining for us too, because we have a lot of commentary that we disagree on this particular topic. Luka Doncic, is he currently the front runner for MVP? ET, down for that or clown for that?
I'm clown, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm clown for that, and I'm a big Luka fan. But what Jayson Tatum's doing right now this year, is pretty impressive. He's number one in the league. I think he's locked in. I think the way he scores is so effortless. It's an understatement. They're winning. They're winning at a top level. And one thing that occurs that I like is I watch the head-to-head matchups, like versus MVP. So
yes.
When it comes down to, I think Tatum, there wasn't any Luka magic that night when they played in Boston. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm looking at the standings right now too.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, like what Luka's doing is unbelievable. And in his 7-game, was he averaging 40, 12, and like 9 over a 7-game period?
Yeah, he's going crazy. He's going crazy.
Something crazy. But I would correlate it with this when we were talking about Luka Doncic's game, and you brought up the correlation of James Harden.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, we've seen that before. And sometimes we've seen it oftentimes, numerous times. And then like with Tatum, you're not going to find him too many places. You know what I mean? Somebody similar to him could be a Kevin Durant.
Right.
Or like some people say he's as gifted as Kobe offensively. So like I'm going for Tatum.
All right, here's my question, right? Because I'm struggling with this. Because Boston has a better supporting cast. Would you say that Boston's number one? But Boston only has 4 more wins than they only have 4 more wins than Dallas.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I think the supporting cast, it's hard to, it's like what comes first, the rooster or the egg, because Tatum probably has a better supporting cast, but then at the same time, he's still doing numbers with that supporting cast. Like he's still going to get his 30 with Jaylen Brown, who's more assertive. Like
that's what I was going to say.
You feel me? Like
if they switch roles, would the supporting cast, the Celtics supporting cast, be as effective and be able to do what they do? Because it seems like Tatum is getting done what he's getting done, and he's not interfering with the confidence or the aggression that his other teammates have. Whereas opposed to Luka, we said it before, when James was doing that, we said, does he make his teammates better? He dominates the ball. He has too high of a usage rate. You can never win a championship that way. We're talking about JT in terms of like them boys got a chance to try to win another championship.
And that's what I'm saying. And I think it's a big difference when you switch teams. You know what I'm saying? If you were to switch their teams out, you don't know how Luka would fare with those guys. I think one thing that helps the Celtics so much is the leadership of Tatum.
Yeah.
And his personality.
But it's interesting. I'm still pissed that Kobe missed a bunch of MVPs because they said this team's standing. And now it almost seems as if standings may not mean as much. Yeah, that's what kills me.
Yeah, and think about James Harden. James could have technically had 3 MVPs if they didn't change everything. They gave one of his MVPs to Russ. It says stats don't matter.
Yeah.
Get an MVP to Russ. You know what I mean? When James won more. The year before, they were like, well, winning matters. And,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And James can get MVP. And that's tough. I feel like we need I guess it's so rare to do co-MVPs, but.
Well, has we ever had one? Because Jokic has been killing too. Like they number one in the West. They got their full squad back.
I want it to be like a thing where it's like an unwritten rule, like, all right, bro, you get 2 free years to run off with MVP, and if you don't touch that final or like get over the hump, we're not gonna give you 5 MVPs, bro, because it clearly don't fucking matter. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
And then like another thing that needs to really matter for MVP, so teams can comprehend, or at least if you're gonna let the media vote for it. Like we have a PER, so like expand on that PER and be like, okay. Like, I'm not even trying, harp on Jokic, but remember Dame, some of his best games, like I said prior to, is
against the Nuggets. Yeah.
If one of your dudes is a defensive liability, like show what that matters during this time, because that can't be. Is that valuable?
And so, a player can be so great, but we'll give them a pass on their weaknesses.
Yeah, Steve Nash.
I didn't want to say that name.
I mean, I'm gonna get in trouble probably, but I've said it numerous times. But like, Steve Nash was cold, and what he did, what his teammates always said about him, they love playing with him. He got guys paid.
Yeah,
just a baller, like undersized, like overcoming everything. But like, if you get 18 and 12, and the other point guard gets that every night,
right?
And then all the other top point guards, like dudes like Chauncey Billups and all these other dudes are like, bro, how am I missing out on this shit for the sake of an 18 and 12er? Like and Mike Bibby couldn't even get all-star.
Mike Bibby was nice.
And not only that, Mike Bibby was a Team Jordan. So that's back when
back then, you had to be.
You only had 8 or 9 dudes. So like Mike Bibby can't even get all-star, and you see some of these point guards that can't even.
Yeah.
And they're giving Steve Nash MVP while there's a Kobe. And
I always said Chauncey was better to me, and they call me crazy. But
I mean,
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you niggas this year.
Not going back. I'll go a lot of places, but back and forth ain't one of them.